company is Black Series Edition LLC, Crystal Edge Technology Screens, and our FLE VT company. All right, so we had some fun with the technology. Got a chance to let the other individuals know what's going to happen to their products. But anyway, let's get down to the truth of all, of true, real 100% contrast, which is something that's lied about, I think, more than anything else, than besides true ambient light rejection technology. So, dark gray screens, gunmetal screens, do not have the ability to be able to reach the Infinity One. They can't reach it because you have to have a 100% black screen in order to perform it. That right there is a dark silver. That's one we developed. That's the one that has contrast shifting capabilities. It doesn't work on the screen that's physically black. It cancels out automatically from the door. Because a screen that's 100% black is going to show that it is 100% black. It's not going to turn gray. It's not going to do this. It's not going to do that. It's going to be 100% black. And I've seen products, and I'm going to mention this one, the Series C, that claimed to be a black screen. We watched in the, I don't know what the kind of demonstrations they were, but I watched that screen literally turn gray. We have it on multiple forum sites. Everybody else saw the video. It's gray. So it's kind of like a first impression, last impression, especially when you're developing black technology or any form of technology. You do want it to come out the color that it's supposed to be, because this could hurt your product badly. But anyway, I see people out there with darker gray products claiming they have the Infinity One, and you don't. As I told you before, if we catch anybody doing this, and we are the ones that have the right to say we have the Infinity One, we're going to challenge your company in court, which is considered to be consumer fraud from the door. If you're selling a product that's claimed to be something that is not on the specification sheet, it's consumer fraud, which means we could file a complaint against your website. Now, for those people saying, well, Bird, why don't you mind your own business at the end of the day? No, it is my business, because this is what I do for my business. And when you go out and you rip people off at the end of the day, that's not good for anybody at all, period. You should be to back whatever you have on your specification sheets. And if you can't back it, don't put it on it, because again, I won't report you. So that's what I like about Epson. Epson stepped in and called nonsense on Valve projectors, because Valve went in and lied completely in their specification sheets, and hey, hands up to Epson for calling bull on some dumb nonsense and allowed them to go in and regulate that projector to get it to where it was supposed to be. Now, they got sued for that, so you can't go do that stuff. But anyway, let's get back to the Infinity One contrast. So as you can see, that right there is the dark silver Cinemax. As you can see, it comes nowhere close to the contrast level of the FLE. I can't forget the name of my technology, man. Quasar. Quasar produces an infinity black level. And as I said before, if your screen doesn't have the capability of producing it, if you are making accusations that you are doing this, yeah, this could land you in some trouble, number one. But number two, you can't do it. It's virtually impossible. That's why anytime we showed off the screen, we said it doesn't do Infinity One. It mimics it, which means it basically like a projector compression. It's the same thing. It mimics it. It doesn't actually give that to you. That'd be impossible. And we can't even make that statement because we develop black technology, so we know from the door. People who don't develop black technology and not properly, you don't know what the Infinity One even looks like, because again, first minute you paint down that screen, it's supposed to be black, not gray. And there's no such thing as an vantage point between other black screens, because they all, surfaces, whatever they may be, all can carry that Infinity One, because that's what they read, black. That's what it stands for. Infinity One means you have infinity contrast, where you have some projectors have a 10,000 to 1, they have a 500,000 to 1, you can have a 20,000 to 1. There's a limit on what you could probably pick up off your screen, and they say you can improve that with your projector, but that's not true. You can't improve it. It's not going to happen at all, period. Okay, so that right there, as I said before, is dark. That we have actually one darker than that one. That's the one I got sitting on the floor right now. When I put that up against the screen, I mean, you'll see what the contrast levels lay on that. And that's why I told you that when I was looking at the screen, even though it looked like it was mimicking a black level, I could actually see that it wasn't black. It just looks like it, but it's just not. This is what they look like when they're sitting against a screen that has an Infinity One sitting next to it. So, people who have lied and made false statements on their mixes claiming to pull Infinity Ones, no, you can't do that. Doesn't read at all, period. Now, just to give you a heads up what happens in a consumer fraud report, they scan your site, which means they copy every page, all the details, and you will go through a questionnaire at a panel in court, and you will have to explain everything that you have on your site, and you have to back up all evidence. If not, you're in a lot of trouble. That's what happens with that. To back up what it does. I actually watched the lawsuit with just curious what goes on in there. And yeah, they literally go through all your specifications. They're going to ask you all kinds of questions on your products. You hope you better know your stuff, because if you don't, you're in a lot of trouble. If you don't, you're going to get fined a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money. So that's why you don't make up false accusations. One's already being reported already Monday morning. Not that one. We decided to give him a little bit of a break. But the other one who has the range gain, you're being challenged Monday morning. So if I were you, no, he can't remove it. It's already recorded already. He's already done already on that one. You can't make accusations up. That's like me saying that, hey, the paint we got here, it basically can, it's a wild thing. I can say it in the day that the thing made me to do. Gives you 3D and virtual capabilities without glasses. Now, if I put that on the site, not true, and guess what happens? That means I can get in a lot of trouble. So you can't put stuff up that doesn't belong. So the only screen that can read the Infinity One is a black screen. Now, say if you say, hey, I go out and I go develop a black screen, then you got another problem you're going to have to worry about too. Your white levels are going to have issues, which means you're going to have to show at the end of the day that your product does not match, and I mean a serious amount of services, paints, fabrics, films. You're going to have a lot of demonstrations to back that one up. Not one. I'm talking about somewhere between the range of probably 25 to 30 at least. Because again, you still run the risk of being hit with a fraud charge due to the fact that somebody finds out that everyday house paint can do the same thing your product can do, and you sold it to be something that you claimed that it was something completely different and never did the testing. You just got hit with a fraud charge. All right, so show you how light that is, how dark that is. Sorry, we'll take the light version we have here and put it next to that one. Let me see if I got some here. Some tape here. So the lie that people tell you that the darker gray paints will read the contrast levels, they don't see it. And people, when you go buy a projector and they tell you the projector's going to fix it, complete lie. And if you don't believe me, go on YouTube and look up the P2. Look out how many people have that projector where they're sitting at right now. And then go pop over and look at the promo, which is, again, an AI generated technology, but still not same. You can't do it in the same environment. Everybody sits in the dark with those machines. Everybody. All right, gonna put this next to this. So that way, hopefully this does not fall over. There's some weight to this. There we go. Now you can see the difference between the lighter one and the darker one. See how dark it is. As you can see, they're not reading that Infinity One, are they? No. That's the surface we painted yesterday on the cardboard boxes to show how easy it is to paint down. And as I said before, your projector can't help you in this process. It's not going to happen. Best you could do is basically darken your environment, which you're definitely going to have to do because the light we have in here is going to conflict with the screens, not ours. Ours can absorb, so we don't have that issue. But yeah, if you want to do your homework, go check out any ultra short projector at that, but mainly the P2 because that 2,000,001 contrast, that projector sits in the dark. From everybody we saw, I didn't see one person and trying to do the same demonstration as we had the Optima GT56 and Optima GT55. We had one outside and one inside. So I haven't seen anybody do it yet. All right, so as you can see, none of that's reading contrast, right? It's not there, right? Okay. Now let's go over here and take these off. Show you up close. So you can see there's the black level. It does not read. Lighter your screen, worse your contrast. White surface, ain't picking up jack at all, period. And that's the sad thing about this. I've seen people buy projectors and they'll say, well, you know, my projector has this and it'll be able to pick it up. I'm like, no, it's not going to happen. Now, this is the version we have, which is the dark version, right? Let's take this, let's put it up there, and let's see if it can. Let's see if we can get it to stay up there, because it literally wants to fight me a little bit. It's right there. Might cut this and take some of this off. Oh, wait, let me see if I put it down here. We should be the nail from here to here. It's a pretty big surface, so we should be good from there to there. Does not want to stay. There we go. That's big enough to see. So as you can see, no, it can't read it. Even though in demonstrations, yeah, it can shift. The technology is darker than the other one. It has the ability to shift. But next to a screen that's an actual black screen, you can't get around that. It's virtually impossible. That's why I sat there and said that certified screen gunmetals, those are the screens that we have to challenge at the end of the day. Not one of them can take on that screen. Not one. I don't care how many we buy, they can't do it. Because they don't have Infinity 1 attached to it. When it comes down to projection screens, two things are going to play a big factor. Well, actually three. It'll be your environment, because that means the difference whether or not you sit in a dark environment all day and all night. It's going to be the ability for the screen to absorb light, because you're going to need that in order to be in a well-lit environment. And then you're going to have to deal with, should have said forward. Then you're going to have to deal with the fact that color and contrast are the two biggest things that you need in a setup. Unless you're dealing, now the white levels, yes, are extremely important. When it comes to black screens, white levels are highly important. Black levels are important because it can read a black level. Gray screens, guess what your problem you have at the end of the day? You can't see contrast. You literally can't pick it up. You have poor ambient light rejection technology, and on top of that, your colors wash out tremendously too fast. You require expensive projectors to work. Just like the white screen, same thing. To put yourself in the category of a gunmetal or black technology, no. You're not even close in the category whatsoever. And to sit there and claim that you pull the highest white levels, no, that would be a white screen that does that. Consider the fact that that technology can turn your screen yellow. So next to that thing, you don't even have high white levels. That would have a higher white level than your gray screen. Whole purpose of the gray screen technology, and I've mentioned this many times before, was that when all this stuff never existed, when you had no gunmetal, no black screens, no dark gray screen, none of that, you just had white screen and gray screen. That was it. Go back to the past. The important things of the gray screen, the arguments they had back and forth, that the white screen could have these tremendously high white levels and the gray screen came out too dark. Literally, that was one of the biggest topics at that particular time. But the gray screen could easily argue that, look, we can pick up in a little bit of light better than the white screen can, and our color and contrast comes out far better, which was true. Now you have gunmetal technology. A gray screen can't compete with the gunmetal screen because it picks up high white levels, it generates a darker level, it absorbs more light, and it picks up beautiful colors. But the thing about it is, they're extremely expensive. That's the only reason why the gray screen still survived. Because if you couldn't afford $3,000, $5,000, even $7,000 for a screen, guess what you went toward? They call it budget paint. So those of you on here talking about, oh, I got this. No, you have budget. That's what you have, budget. Because you can't afford the certified technology. That's why you have it. If you saw the difference between a certified and a gray screen, you would see there's a huge dramatic difference, and the certified is far more superior. So that means at the end of the day, and not to bust on anyone's purse at the end of the day, or whatever you want to call your wallet in the day, it's a $5,000 screen. It's a reason why the screen costs $5,000. It's a reason why. It's far more superior than a gray screen. If you saw the black diamond demonstration that I did next to a gray screen on a 50 lumen projector, it literally looked like a TV on the black diamond side, where the gray screen came out dull and dirty. So now you have our technology, which is actually physically black technology, which means we can read 100% infinity levels. We pick up a perfect color balance, and our white levels are extraordinary, because if they wasn't, there was no way in the world possible they can pass any of the black versus black demonstrations, or my cargo pants would never have passed, because again, the screen would generate too dark of a level for it being virtually impossible for it to beat the cargo pants altogether. And then the demonstration showing you the white levels and the dark surface, and at the same time clearly shows at 1000 lumens. Of course, there isn't much for the screen to pick up to begin with, but our technology doesn't have that problem. We're able to maintain our contrast levels and bright colors better than a white surface, and able to maintain high white levels, which were better than the surface that didn't have our technology embedded into it. That's what you have to prove. You can't prove those theories. What's going to happen is you're going to be slammed with a fraud lawsuit. That's what's going to happen. I can literally walk into any courtroom and explain exactly what it says on my specification sheet and do it right there in the courtroom with no problem. Which I hope somebody does, because it's going to be some publicity right there at the end of the day, which I am going to enjoy. That's what you're going to have to back up. So, the theory of saying that a dark gray screen can pull a contrast level, no. You're not picking any contrast. So you pick up shades of gray. That's what you're picking up. That's all you're picking up. That's all you're seeing. You don't see black in any way whatsoever. And you need to acquire black in order to see a perfect color balance, which you don't read. Can't see it either. And this is the reason why the screens always sit in dark, ambient light controlled environments, because the lights actually destroy the screen. Picture quality, they ruin it. So that's why you always see them in the dark. Yep, there you go. You see that contrast star field? It picks up regardless whether lights are on or off. If you have true 100% contrast, you don't have to turn your lights out when you show a star field. Black trousers, black fabric, black films, black paint, anything I name that I stick up there and I show a star field, I don't got to turn the lights out to make that stuff work. It reads black, that's why. Gray screens have to turn the lights out. Gunmetals have to be in ambient light controlled, and they can be in some fully lit environments that are much higher than a gray screen, but still they don't achieve the 100%. You can't read it. And that technology right there took out gunmetal technology, because it can basically pull up and mimic a contrast level that can take out one of those screens. And we did the test, we showed them off, so yeah. But to consider that gray screen could take out a black technology, no, that's not going to happen. As I said before, this is the mother of all screens. I could literally wipe your entire product list clean right now. How could you stand against it? The dark screen don't stand a chance. So what a gray screen thing going to do against a monster like this? I try to tell you at the end of the day, but I also give you a little education along the way for customers who have been lied to that, oh, it's a dark gray, it pulls up an infinity level. No, it doesn't. It can't read it. Now, if I really wanted to represent how powerful this screen was, I'll just use this one we have here, and I can take your products out with this easy. It's not black, but it can mimic that contrast level, because it took out certifies with no problem. Heck, it took out a $6,000 daylight screen. That screen's pretty dark. And as you look at that screen, not that dark, is it? So, with that being said, I can wipe all your stuff with that screen. I don't even have you touch the big boy screen over here. Just this one right here. That's it. That'll do the job. And then I can use this technology to wipe out that, just to show you where you sit at. But we don't have time for that, because that's going to take too long. I got to get this thing launched. I got customers beating down my door to get this black technology. So we're just going to basically just mother of all screens. We're just going to go get everybody's stuff, bring it down here, test it, see if you can basically compete with the screen. But if you basically said that you pull the infinity or contrast level, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to read. There you go. I know some people are just itching to see the demonstration. Like, oh, what's the difference between the darker, the gray screen? I know the gray screen. No, it can't. No way in the world. I just sat that on camera, so that was not going to happen. I'm not going to read it. Can't read it. All right, let's take this one down. This is the darkest one we have right here. We've done these demonstrations before many times on my channel. We've done this. So gray, dark gray, that's what we have on the floor right now. And give you an example for people who have white screens, give you an understanding what you're getting. That's how bad it's going to be. Let's get ourselves a white sheet of paper if we can reach it from way back over here. Okay, here we go. And I got a projector at the same time. If you have to, Starfield, if we send this over when I'm in form sites, I'm in there with big boy JVCs and these JVC projectors. Do you read the specification on a JVC? Yeah, I hate to say it, I don't want to get anybody upset with this, but it makes P2 and an Epson LS 800 like a paperweight. That's a $60,000, $80,000 projector. Those things are beast. But guess what? Their contrast level is way beyond the P2 and whatever, you know, and Epson, way beyond. And still, they can't read it. Because I sent them over the link for this. They have a white screen in there, mostly white or gray screen in there, because, you know, they figure the projector's going to do all the work. And they turn the lights on and the screen turns tan. And for those of you saying, well, if you check out my promo demonstration, did you see the church? They had a 7,000 lumen projector in that demonstration, and the screen wouldn't read. The church that I did, I think their projectors, I think there were 6,000 lumens projectors. They had actually 2 projectors combined to one. I think they did that like a stacking system. So they combined, I think, 2 projectors together and hit the screen with it. Yeah, and the screen wouldn't read, of course, because you're just adding so much light to the screen. Doesn't work. We'll take the white surface, put that on the far end over here. Now, one of the most important things about black technology, and I can't explain this enough, is that your product has to be properly tested before you even sell that stuff. Because black screens are different than a gray screen or a gunmetal screen. It's a different element of technology. It's basically an extremely temperamental technology, which means that you have to test it on multiple projectors to make sure this thing's going to react right. It may not work on ultra short throw projectors, as some person's having that problem right now. And it may work on long throws. It may have a problem with low lumen projectors. It might not even register outside. It may not even register in fully lit environments. Color balances could be extremely poor. I can take black paint, put it on a standalone screen, and you would think it was the most amazing picture you've ever seen until I slide in front of one of our screens and it just turns dirty and you can't see it. There you go. So you really don't know what you're really looking at until you actually do the test. It's important. So that's why I said that unless they have those tests, and when we do the tests on our products, and what people do is they go back, look at the tests that we do, and they compare it to everybody else, and that's where they get their information from. So as for the Series C, first mistake, you couldn't paint down the color. We painted this color multiple times, not a problem. If it's black, it's not gray. And then to get on a recording and claim that a screen that you clearly, well, he clearly saw the screen. I don't know how he couldn't have. Unless you're colorblind, that's the only way. But how in the world would you have had that screen before the camera came on and you couldn't tell the difference between gray and black? You had that surface laying against it and you couldn't tell? That's the part that people in the forum site find a little bit baffling. Like, did the person did the review, is he colorblind? How did you not see that? If that surface right there, right next to the white sheet of paper, was claiming to be a black screen, and I put that against there before the camera came on, I think I would have been able to see the difference between the two. There you go. Hope you caught up to that one. Yeah. So, what did you see? Because I know what I saw, and everybody know what they saw. I don't know how you couldn't have seen that before the camera came on. Because right there, somebody from the door said, "Hey, look, I got your product over here, and it's gray. It's not black." Anybody would have said that. So I don't know whether you thought you could lie and trick people. I don't know. Maybe you didn't expect for the star field to pop up in the demonstration. It might have happened. Star field could have just popped up out of nowhere, and the screen got exposed. Because for what I've seen so far on that screen, I've seen a lot of what's the word for it? A lot of bright colors. That's what I see. No comparison. Now, one of the big problems I have is there's no paint on demonstrations on this thing. There was one, but it disappeared. So you really don't know how this thing is reacting, because the first paint on demonstrations we saw, the screen clearly came up gray. After that, I haven't seen any after that. Even the video itself showing the screen being painted on was removed. So we see anywhere between, you're going to need something like, okay, every form of surface requires a paint on demonstration, and no front and rear capabilities, which we have not seen yet. Range gain is not existing. Whew, man, he's going to get hit with, well, Monday morning, he'll figure it out. But anyway, yeah, just too many questions with that thing. Way too many questions on top of that. Paint down demonstrations, I'll search for some today. Some paint down demonstrations. Mind you, you're going to have, I say 20, 30. We plan to max that number out, but yeah, you're going to have a lot of them. Because mind you, paint it down on wood. What's the reaction? What's the reaction for styrofoam? What's going to be the reaction for different forms of fabric? You got to do all those tests, because some fabrics may work well and some may not. Some may crack and peel, some may not. And if you have rear projection, you should be able to do a submersible screen with no problem. And those you don't know what that is, so we take a screen and submerge it underwater. Which I haven't seen in the rear demonstrations yet. To be honest, I haven't seen any rear demonstrations at all, period. Just the one with the 23, and that's it, but no black ones. And we have dozens of demonstrations on rear projection technology. We do them all the time. So yeah, it's questionable, a lot questionable. But anyway, getting back to this. Yeah, you don't see contrast in any way whatsoever. Only black technology can do it. So, when you're in the dark with your projector and having confidence in your contrast capability, you see gray. You don't see black. And when your colors come on, your colors actually fade a little bit, because you can't read that contrast level. You won't read. Now, you have something called the sacrifice field in projection screens. All of them have, every single one of them have one. For a gray screen to lie and say, oh, it pulls the alternate white level. No, white screens pull the ultimate white level because they are white. Black screens pull the infinity one contrast because they are black. So, what happens in the sacrifice field? Well, if you have a gray screen, you're going to sacrifice. Contrast is going to go. Color is definitely going to go, and the ability to be able to pull ambient light projection technology is definitely going with you. That's definitely going to be a problem. Can you read on an ultra? Sure thing. You read on anything you want. It's going to pick up. It's going to pick up. House paint do the same thing. Anything's going to pick up on gray. Problem is what the quality is going to be. What are you going to get out of it from the quality of it? If you have to darken your environment to accommodate the screen, then there's a red flag right there. I mean, if you have a problem with contrast, you definitely have a problem with color, and your ambient light projection doesn't work. So customers are going to be in the dark. White screens sacrifice level is definitely going to be contrast and color, and definitely ambient light projection technology, because you can't see either one of them. And basically it does pour up a much poorer image than the gray screen, but still can't see it the way. Excluding the dark too on top of that. Darker screens, basically like gunmetal technology, and that's not gunmetal, by the way, that's actually dark gray. That's not gunmetal. Gunmetal screens are super dark. The one we have over here is a dark screen that looks like it's black. It's the whole theory behind the darker you make it on the edge, but that's a whole story on its own, explaining how gunmetal technology actually is supposed to look like, and not charcoal gray. But anyway, the darker screen's advantage point is they will pick up a darker shade of gray. Darker than the mid gray, darker than the light gray, darker than the white screen, but their white levels will drop. So anytime you get darker in the field of screens, The sacrifice field that pops up for the darker screen is the white level that starts to drop. Contrast and color is good, but remind you that you're going to have to maintain a very high white level in order to maintain your color, or you're going to end up like those pair of slacks I had laying against the screen. That's what will happen to you. That's why I showed you the color level balance. That's the whole purpose of it. But the technology we have here can read a balance level. And people think at the end of the day, and we're sadly mistaken by saying this, that a whiter and brighter your screen, the better your colors. No, you got it backwards. It's the darker screens that do that, not the lighter screens. That's backwards. But if that was the case, then that screen on the far end, which would bring the highest white levels, would bring the highest best color, and it would be in head of the pack. It'd be the most expensive screen. And it's not. It's considered to be the cheapest screen out of the whole group. It's the darker technology that does it. That's why they advise you, if you're using 4K or 1080p projectors, this is supposed to be done on darker screens, not on light gray, not on mid gray, not on any of them at all, period. The darker screens are advised for that. If you don't believe me, go to a forum site, chat with a few people, they'll tell you. I've been around for a while, I know that already. But anyway, so yeah, you go to the sacrifice field. It depends on how much you're going to sacrifice. We already know from the door that when we develop black technology that white levels are going to drop. That's a given. It's supposed to happen. Gunmetals, it drops. Charcoal grays, it drops. There's no such thing as a charcoal gray screen. It's going to tell you it pulls a 100% white level and it's dark level. No, I'm sorry. What you've been smoking at the end of the day, that is just not going to happen. You have to go to the sacrifice field. It depends on how much you sacrifice. But you're going to have to show and prove that you basically are not beyond the sacrifice field. And that's where the black on black demonstrations must be done. This allows the consumer to be able to see exactly how much light that screen is actually physically generating and exactly how much the white levels are going to drop. That's why you do a white surface and you do a surface that's uncoated and you do yours. Those are the tests you have to do. Those are the ones that have to be performed. This gives you an idea exactly where your white levels lay. But if you don't do these tests, then we get screens over here and we throw that, we hook them up and they go dark on us because they don't read correctly. They weren't tested properly. Yeah, and you notice everything I just said here in this video, I guarantee you they can't explain it to you. Because you know why? They didn't do the test, they don't know. My projector, what does it have? My projector has 1,000:1 contrast. That's it. So at 1,000:1 contrast on my projector, it doesn't read white. It can't fix the mid gray. You see right there. Can't fix the dark gray. I think it just mimic a contrast level when the big screen's not in front of it. Because if the big screen's in front of it, the dark screen, it's going to basically not be able to do it. And as for the black technology we have over here, it can read it. That's why it doesn't make a difference what your contrast levels on your projector is, because that technology is designed to give you the darkest contrast you will ever receive, even from your TV through your projector, even though you have to spend I spent $10 for my projector. That's it. So those of you sitting around with those 2,000,000:1 and 20,000, 50,000, and whatever you have on your contrast, and you're in a dark environment, you can't read that infinity star field, you don't have it. And by the time you reach our technology, well, again, you paid for something you'll never use because you'll be turning that off. Yep, so that's space about it. Simple and plain. That's it. So I do this because it educates the customer, because customers, you should be seeing this. These are demonstrations you should be hearing about. Not, oh, look at the pretty colors or not. No. You should be seeing hardcore demonstrations that educate you on exactly what you need to look for. That's what you need to do. And for those of you that are lying and not doing it right, this also exposes you. So if you're coming up there saying that, oh, your mixes have this infinity-1 contrast, and no, it doesn't at all. It doesn't do it. Nope. Doesn't do it. You have to have a black screen to do it. I've already preached that so many times. You have to have a black screen to do it. Red screen. Just to give you an example. your colors don't read. See how bright the reds are on the black technology? Watch how they drop on the dark gray, which is the one we developed here, and also too on the grayer mix it drops again, and on the white it doesn't pick up at all. There you go. Just want to show you real quick. Now again, when it comes to the white levels, yeah, that is going to pull the highest white level, higher than this one, higher than this one, higher than this one. But can this one make this one impossible to watch? No. That's why we do those tests called a white level test, which means we take a 1,000 lumen projector, we drop about 10 to 16 feet from a screen, and we basically have it travel in all this fully light environment, outside and inside, to make sure that that technology can read a proper white level without going as dark as the pair of trousers that I had laying against the screen, because we don't want that. And the reason why we do the black on black demonstrations is to prove that the technology does have something called a heightener, which allows the screen to be able to register high white light. Because anything you say on camera, you're going to have to back it up. Someone takes me to court and says, hey, this guy's claiming to have something called a heightener, that he says that this product pulls a higher white level than other black screens. Guess what I have to do? I have to back that up in court, which means I can throw whatever I want up there, and guess what? It'll do exactly what it's designed to do. So don't make stuff up. Because if it's not me, it'll be somebody else that'll basically call bull on your stuff, and they will take you to court for it. It's been educational, hasn't it? Yes, it has. I've done this before. I've done this so many times. It's not even funny how many times I've done this. Yep. Yep. Sony OLED demonstration. Oh, she's being mean today. I think she's being mean. So yeah, when we go out for a hunt, keep in mind that any of the screens fall in one of these categories. That's it. Just let you know. Gunmetals don't. Only black screen I've seen so far in the gunmetal technology is the one from Diamond. And what I read up on that thing, that screen requires an 8,000 lumen projector to activate. I was talking to the sales rep when I was like, geez, that's an expensive projector. So yeah, but you know, companies buy it and all that. Yeah, but it requires 8,000. We can do it at 50 to 1,000, even outside. So yeah, we got the screen beat, and it's a very, very expensive screen. So it wouldn't be hard. On top of that, it's not as dark as our technology, which usually that's what happens when it comes to, they try to make blacker screens. It's kind of like they try to make them a little bit of a light black to them, so that way it generates the white level a little higher, but that's a bad idea. And they figure that the projector, when it's same amount of contrast, this is basically going to fix the problem. Don't do that. OLED contrast demonstrations. I literally got OLED as in hello, as in OLED, and gee whiz. I swear, AI is artificial intelligence, whatever. I think it does it on purpose just to tickle us. What the heck? Why did it put contrast? Okay, we did contrast here. Give me Sony. Sony, good gracious, man. So when we show a demonstration off, we are reading.
You worked hard. Now you're hurt on the job. Your paychecks have stopped and your medical bills are being denied.
So that screen is reading a 100% contrast level. And the other screens, they can't pick it up. Why am I so close to the freaking screen? Don't ask why. When I started the video, it was boom! But I figured since we're so close and you need to see the whole contrast thing, just went with it. Shoot, my what you promise not? I can't shrink this a little bit. Gee whiz, I can't stand being close to the screen. It drives me nuts. All right, hold on. I'm gonna have to come back in on this. I can't stand being this close to a screen. It drives me nuts. I did it for the demonstration because you need to see that close, but gee whiz Louise. But you got an idea what I'm talking about from the door. I got to step back some. Oh, man. can't be that close to a screen. I don't know how people do that. Like right up on top. Why are you that close to the screen? Unless you're showing something like a comparison or something. Even a comparison, it's still not supposed to be that close to the screen. Jeez. Camera's like a zoom all in. That's where we'll go. Don't like that at all, period. If you're looking at the big surface right next to my screen, actually, that's a bigger screen for outside. So, I built that last night because I'm taking it outside on a bigger surface. Oh, by the way, and I have to add this in here, technology is still 10%. We haven't upgraded it yet. So it's still, sorry, I bumped the sand. It's still a 10% product. Nowhere near 50, nowhere near 20, nowhere near 30. It's 10%. First stage, that's it. Still in the beginning process. I haven't learned any good stuff yet. I think next week we'll be at 20% next week. But right now, only 10%. Sorry about being so close to the screen. I got to push all the way back here. I'm glad that the lens came up that way because I need to see it up close, but yeah, later on I'm going to show something I got to be all the way back here. Kitty, meow. Meow, kitty, meow. Supposed to have ambient light rejection. You can't do that in your video. That's bad. That's extremely bad. This is 10% and they can do that. I got my garage lights on, which are actually bright. My garage lights are super bright. Then I got the freaking overhead lights over here. If you can't do that in your demonstration, you can open up a door that's sitting right into line with your screen. You can't do that, then there's a problem there. You have a problem. Should be able to do that, but no problem at all. So let me get this straight. I buy your product, and my screen is sitting right next to my door, and I can't open up the door because I'm afraid the screen's going to basically disappear on me? That's sad. We got people that'll leave the room. The minute I open up a door or windows or anything, they'll leave automatically because they're in here watching the screen. That's why. There are other people make screen paints come here to watch me. And when I open up a door, they get mad and leave. Yeah, sounds like a personal problem to me. Fix your stuff. So, Aaron, I gotta be careful because Taco is somewhere around here. He never had to go. All right. I'll stop it there. Abstract art, colorful, copyright free. Haven't done this in a while. I think the next one I'm going to do is while your white screen is obsolete. That'd be nice to do some white demonstrations against this technology. Do some color and contrast and all that good stuff. And let's get the light gray screen up there. Show some demonstrations. I'm gonna make some more of that stuff too. That's that black and white mixture. But you know what? It's fake. It's not good. We have to make an upgrade version. I need an upgrade. I want to put some of this product. I'm not using that crap at the end of the day. I gotta get something better. We'll make our own. We got a digital and crystal screen paint. I'm gonna put against a real freaking gray paint at the end of the day. So I'm gonna do something with a half on half because I want the silver and all that to pop. I need a screen to actually be a good challenge. That's not a challenge for us at the end of the day. Black and white paint, no. I'm gonna do a half and half. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a PPG. That's a good pure silver. A half and half with network gray 773. Oh, that would be a good one too. Half and half network gray, 16 ounces of PPG, 16 ounces of network gray 773. We'll do about let's see, 3/1/4 of silver mica, and I'll put in we'll make a system. I think we're going to put in 2 scoops, everything from 1 scoop to 3. So we'll make different versions of it. Let's see how it can take on our technology. This should be fun. Oh, and we have to make a high-grade white version screen because I know how to make them high-grade white screens. Yeah, we had somebody ask for one a long time ago. We made one. I wasn't too happy with it, but that's what they wanted. But anyway, we're going to make a high-grade white screen paint, put against our product too also. So that would basically debunk the whole theory of the other thing. All right, let's get this other one done and get in here and get some white levels and all the other good stuff done. Now, again, I know Nate said they're sitting there saying, oh, he's testing. We're not testing. This is no test at all, period. When you see a test, you will see we do tests. The tests are quite long. They take a couple of hours. And yeah, projectors we have to be swapping out projectors left and right. This is just for fun. This is all just for fun. Just like the slacks, this is for fun. We already know the screen has the capability to be able to turn other surfaces darker. We know that already. We've done so many black on black demonstrations, it's not even funny. I'm experienced in that field because I've done it. But if you do demonstrations just to skim by the skin of your teeth, just to try to get by, you're in a lot of trouble. Mind you, same thing I'm doing here. You think I'm joking? Go get a distributorship contract. They're going to request for you to do this. It's going to be a request for you to do all this stuff. Back up everything you have on your site, but you have your specification sheet. And it's going to be requested you to do these tests because there's stuff they're going to ask you too. That again, like how often could this stuff match house paint? Because if I'm painting this down in my living room and my walls are already gray, am I going to see a difference? See, that's the stuff they're going to ask you at the end of the day. What are you going to do? Get mad and storm out the door? That's not going to work. So test your stuff. Okay, let's get this off and. Let's I gotta get a monitor in here too. I need to get a monitor in here so we can have the monitor next to it half by half. But that's what I'm gonna do at the trade shows. We're gonna have monitors right next to the screen. As a matter of fact, I'm actually gonna buy a monitor and I'm gonna use the cardboard box to turn that into a projection screen to basically match the monitor. You gotta have fun. Gotta have fun. And keep in mind, monitor right there can pull an infinity contrast level opposed to black. That's why I love it when I watch demonstrations and people say, well, we do the same thing as a TV. No, you do not. Where are you getting that from? What possible way? Your cell phone. My cell phone has an OLED screen. How are you doing that? And that reads the contrast. Your cell phone reads the contrast. Your monitors read contrasts, right? Unless you got an old gray CRT sitting up in there, like an old gray monitor, then you're not picking it up at all. But no, your monitors pick it up. They pick up black. So if you're in there watching a movie and you're sitting, I see people in the dark, they'll be in a dark environment and they go, look, my screen's picking up the same. No, because you're sitting in the dark, that's why. Stick your screen in the same environment you would have a TV. And then let's see what happens to your contrast levels on your screen. Can't be doing that. I saw a professional do that one time. I was like, what in the world? Like he was in the dark talking about, look, same level, same. No, nobody. No, you got that completely wrong. There's actually somebody that requested one of our screens. I said, look, man, you're going to be sticking my screen in that dark environment at the end of the day. That's not for us. Lighten the environment up. We have ambient light rejection technology. Lighten the environment. Let's see how you do. Anybody can thrive in a dark environment. That's not hard to do. No, it ain't. Jeez. Oops, I'm tripping over cables and stuff. We got to do a lights out demonstration tonight. We got to do a lights out and see if any of these screens can register at night, because we definitely do one of those. Okay. So, since you like gray screens and stuff like to play in the dark, our technology can play in the dark too. Right, Ken? Yeah. You've seen what it does if I pull out a cell phone flashlight, I can wash your screen out. So if this stuff looks just incredible with the lights on, imagine if it's a nightmare this stuff be when you turn the lights out. It produces colors and stuff that your screens can't even register at all, period. And on top of that, it reads Infinity 1, which means I can take a flashlight and I can wash your screen out and that one won't. Turn the lights on, that screen will still be black. That's what I love about it. Yeah. Okay, let's get that done. Oh, shit. I'm over here. I'm trying to turn off the cell phone from my mouse. You know I'm tired. All right, there we go, people. Gotta go. Be right back.